Kerry Packer, the man who won the biggest slot machine jackpot in history worth $39 million. Let's see how it happened. Early life. Born on the 17th of December in 1937 in Sydney, Australia, Kerry Packer was no stranger to the media, as his father, Sir Frank Packer, was a media proprietor and managed an Australian media company. His grandfather was a rugby union player, and his older brother was also into professional sports. While Packer made a huge name for himself, having inherited the family business, Nine Network Publishing and Broadcasting Limited, along with Australian Consolidated Press, he was also involved in other venues like gambling and tourism, most notably at the Crown Casino in Melbourne. The story of Kerry Packer is an emotional one, full of trials, insurmountable challenges, and victories, and he may have had all the money that he needed in life before and after his big jackpot, but did you know that he was also confined to an iron lung for 9 months at the early age of 8 due to severe poliomyelitis? Because of this, Kerry had a tough love relationship with his father when he was younger. His own father once referred to him as the family idiot. The emergence of the punt master. Packer grew up watching and participating in all forms of gambling tournaments. He was highly fascinated with the game and loved the adrenaline rush of staking outrageous amounts with no lifeline. He relished the thrill and also used it as an avenue to network with big personalities and affluent people. Packer was widely known for his fabled wins and losses, which either made more money for the casinos or ran them out of business. Packer lived a very busy life. One could say that he was spread quite thin, and he was active in television, casinos, newspapers, and cricket sports. He was the proprietor of numerous businesses and did not have much time for his family. Therefore, he was known as a philanderer. Packer was also known to be a heavy smoker, a habit that he had maintained in order to stay focused during games. Known as the King Kong of media magnates, he was admired by many but feared by employees and subordinates for his unpredictable and explosive temper. At one point in his life, he was actually considered the biggest bettor in the world, and this says a lot because at this time, the casinos were usually full of Asian high rollers and oil sheiks from the Middle East. He had the bankroll to keep betting, and if he lost a bet, he would continue to go until he won, often leading to colossal losses in the millions. Bragging with the Texan. One of the most interesting stories about Packer's experience with other gamblers was probably his clash with the Texan millionaire. Packer was at a blackjack table in Las Vegas when a boastful oil baron approached him with a challenge. The Texan began to boast of his wealth without any idea as to who Packer was. Packer had tried hard to maintain his composure right up until the man made the statement, "Do you know who I am? I am worth $100 million. Packer, without hesitation, pulled out a coin from his pocket and delivered a remark that reverberated throughout the room and will be remembered for many years to come. He simply said, "I'll flip you for it." This means that he would also put up $100 million in an instant, and they would toss a coin to see who gets it all. This was, at first, a testament to how wealthy that Packer was compared to his opponent, and also the fact that the Texan could lose everything he had in the blink of an eye. The aggressor, lost for words at the prospect of losing everything from the outcome of a simple coin toss, quietly walked away to a secluded table for the rest of the evening. The historical win. Casinos in Las Vegas were abuzz any time that Packer walked through the doors, as his visits often yielded good revenue. However, the establishments were also aware of the financial havoc that he would wreak on their business if he went on a winning streak. In 1994, Packer visited the MGM Grand, located on the Las Vegas Strip, to play as he usually did. Packer had previously lost a significant amount of money at the MGM Grand 2 years before, and his visit seemed like a risky affair. But little did he know that he was about to have one of the most successful runs ever recorded. He took to the slot machines and began a winning streak that was unheard of. He soon moved to blackjack, playing as many as 7 hands simultaneously. The casino management decided to make a call that changed everything. They believed that he was about to run out of luck and that his streak was going to end. And so that's when they lifted the high roller limits, which allowed him to play as high as $500,000 per hand. This would have allowed the casino to win back the money they had lost and even more, but sadly for them, that was a big mistake. Packer ended up hitting over $20 million in under 40 minutes, and as the game continued, management began to show concern as the winning streak did not seem to be slowing down. Packer was said to have won almost $40 million in total that night, and as a show of good sportsmanship and generosity, he left a $1 million tip to be split amongst the staff, who kept him pleasantly entertained during the game. It wasn't the first time that he had left a huge tip for staff. As a matter of fact, it was almost a tradition. Once he had written written a $150,000 check to help a staff member clear her mortgage. And on another occasion, he had actually given the keys to a brand new Mercedes to a valet as a gift. At the MGM Grand that evening, they were displeased with his huge winnings, and after deliberations with authorities, they had a tough decision to make. The casino had taken a very hard loss from Packer and had to ban him from returning ever again. Packer, in turn, would voice his displeasure with the decision, but didn't take it too hard like the management expected. He even gave them a smile. Perhaps banning Packer was not the brightest of decisions, because the millionaire turned his attention to another casino known as the Bellagio, where he then lost about $20 million on baccarat. Many people are familiar with Packer's $40 million win, as it made headlines and even got him banned from the casino, but one major win that fewer people talk about is at the Desert Inn jackpot. This one crashed the business in one single day. The incident made many casinos afraid of having Packer in their establishments. He went to the Desert Inn casino to gamble, and the most incredible thing happened. On the first day, he lost $8.2 million, and the casino insisted that he paid in cash, which he did. The next day, it was reported that he had won $52 million and also demanded that he be paid in cash. The huge loss greatly affected the casino, and it ended up having to shut down. The Desert Inn was bought by a new owner, and the establishment is now known as the Wynn Hotel. Gambling losses. Winning a huge sum of money at the casino was always followed with a lot of celebration, attention, media coverage, and everything else that went along with it. Losing a huge sum of money would also come with media coverage and attention, which Packer didn't necessarily like. If we're going to talk about his wins, it's also important to mention his losses as well. In 1999, he arrived at the London casino with his entourage to gamble with the biggest personalities he could find. He played blackjack and baccarat, spending some time at the slot machines, and in the space of 3 days, he lost a jaw-dropping $28 million. This huge loss would be recorded as one of the biggest gambling losses in British history. If that wasn't enough, sometime in the 90s, he walked into a major casino in London, highly enthusiastic to win lots of money, and found himself at the roulette table where he placed bets on 4 different tables. He lost £15 million on the game, and this would be confirmed by the casino managers in Southeast England. Packer had numerous losses that spanned millions of dollars, and often casino owners were so confident in his losses that they would grant him special privilege, allowing him to play in luxury and comfort. For instance, the Ritz Hotel in London provided Packer with a special room where he could spend long hours or even days playing blackjack on different tables at £10,000 per hand. He was on a losing streak but kept on placing more chips until he was writing checks in the millions to enable him to keep playing. By the end of the game, he had lost £8 million, and these are just a few of the losses without counting race betting and other sports. Health after wealth. Packer had been struggling with his health, having suffered 4 heart attacks and a kidney transplant. In 2005, his donated kidney slowly stopped working, so he knew that death was near. He wanted to be in control of his own death and demanded to be relieved under the heaviest of medications, which the doctors administered. A few moments after that heavy dose, he woke up in utter dismay and asked the doctors if he was still there and how long it was going to take. His iconic statement was his very last words before he finally died. He's remembered not only for his exceptional victories and epic losses in casinos, but also for living a life of absolute control. What do you think about the gambling career and life of Kerry Packer? Be sure to let me know all about it in the comments below, and also be sure that you subscribe to the channel so you never miss another great story like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.